Now here's the freak, as I call her. My freakas. She is an IMG Scoria as well, but she is the darkest IMG Scoria I've ever seen. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. Today we're going to be in the boa room looking at Scoria Boas. That's right. I'm going to be looking at all my scorias, all the different types and combinations I have and potential breeding in the future. And we're going to learn about the Scoria gene and see what it does when it interacts with different genes like hypo, IMG, VPIT positive. A lot of cool stuff. Stay tuned. All right. Taking a look at some Scoria Boas today. Hyposcoria right here, that's het for VPIT positive. This is probably one of my lightest scorias that I have. It's really, really purpley, pinkish purple colored here. She's really been putting some nice size on. This is a 21. I'm hoping maybe next year she'll be ready to breed. Really nice pinkish coloration here. You can see the hypo gene really takes all those blacks. These are all normally black in the tail. Makes everything like a reddish brown. And this girl is beautiful, really nice looking. She just shed actually. Just about to clean her little tub out here. And you can see that beautiful blue eye these scorias have, especially the hyposcorias. Nice pinkish tongue. Can't wait to get her in the breeding projects. Get some VPI scorias out of her. I always give you updates on my IMG scorias because they're all so different. This one took a really long time. This is a male, to get his blacks coming in. I was very questionable whether he was even IMG, to be honest with you, when I first got him. I knew the blacks here were really dark and they were getting darker. Just recently, and he's over 2 years old. Just recently, this stuff's coming in. So the IMG gene has a lot of trouble with scorias. You know, the scoria is such a lightning gene that it's hard to lay down dark pigment. Now, scorias do have black in them, but the body tends to be very purplish colored. And I just figured the IMG gene sometimes just can't do its job, which is to lay down as much melanin, black pigment as possible. But this one seems to be, as the snake's getting older, and it's still turning blacker. Usually by 2 years, they're kind of where they're going to be, but not this boy. This boy just keeps getting darker and darker. Matter of fact, I don't even know why I haven't put him into the breeding program. He should really be breeding someone. And I got to figure out who I want to put him with because he's really nice. I should put him in like a display cage. He's so nice. He's a really nice looking snake. Now this is a sister to the other Scoria I showed you. And she's doing really nice as well. This is just a Scoria, no hypogene in it. It's het for VPIT positive. And you can see this one's darker. You see the dark blacks in the tail? All this became red in the hyposcoria, het VPIT positive. This one's just a regular Scoria, het VPIT positive. It's still lighter than a typical Scoria would be. That's because that one copy of the VPIT positive gene definitely lightens a little bit things up. We've talked about that in the past when we talked about the VPIT positive gene, but this one almost looks nicer because it's got more contrast. If you look at the blacks and then the lightness in the body, as opposed to the hypo Scoria het VPIT positive, which is all lightness. You know, all that black is like reds and light browns, mostly reds, I would say. So I think this girl's hungry, so I don't want my phone to become her next meal. We've seen that happen with my olive pythons, and that's not fun. I'm trying to get the phone out of their mouths. So you can see the difference between the hyposcoria versus the regular scoria, both het VPIT positive. Now here's the freak, as I call her. My freakas. She is an IMG Scoria as well, but she is the darkest IMG Scoria I've ever seen. I haven't seen anyone who showed me, but there's no motley in here either. Sometimes the motley IMG Scorias get this dark, but there's no motley gene in here. This is just IMG Scoria, basically, that's het albino, believe it or not. And growing her up, hopefully next year we'll be able to breed her. And she has gotten so dark. Look at that tail. And she was not, when I got her, you know, she was, you know, she had a couple speckles on her, but nothing crazy. And she just got darker and darker and darker, which just goes to show you that in various, you know, snakes, the IMG gene can express itself differently. And I don't know why it does that, or there's no explanation. It just does. You saw the IMG Scoria that I showed you, had very little black on it. It was starting to get more black, but there's the same age. And this one is just completely saturated with black. It's amazing how black that tail is, especially given the fact that the Scoria gene itself really reduces melanin. So this is kind of really pretty cool. Look at this. Look at this. Even the bottom, almost the whole, all this black in here. That's a lot of black in this snake. Now here's one of my biggest Scorias, and potentially could be gravid. I've been breeding her continuously for a while. We didn't get anything last year. She's kind of sitting on the hot spot. The male's not really hanging out with her very much anymore. I know it's really early in the season, but sometimes, you know, when you just hit it right. I don't know. She's pretty big. She still is eating, or if you offer her food, she'll eat. So I don't know if she's going to produce anything. This is an interesting pairing because this is a Scoria that's het for blood, and it's also para het, meaning that it's either het for sharp albino or het for bow and caramel T positive. We won't know until we breed her out. Now this male is a double het, also het for blood and para het, so we don't know what he's het for either. It's either sharp albino or bow and caramel. Either way, we have the potential to produce a paradigm blood Scoria, a sharp albino Scoria, or a bow woman caramel Scoria, depending on what we hit on. If she is indeed gravid. That I'm not sure of, but once again, you can see she's theoretically wild type Scoria, but, you know, het blood changes some pattern around a little bit. I don't know if the para het would change anything, but definitely het blood does. And once again, I don't know. I don't really think she's gravid, but it's a possibility. We'll keep an eye on her, see what her behavior is. If she stops eating, then that might tip us off over the next month or so. This is her sister, actually, and she looks really different. Even though same genes. She's also para het. We don't know what, you know, she's het for, but she could be bow woman caramel or sharp albino. But she's got, and I always love this snake because she has like what I call the hieroglyphics looking Scoria. She's got some really cool markings. She's got these little triangles. And for some reason, I don't know, I just haven't had luck breeding these guys. She's definitely old enough this year, and I haven't decided who I'm going to put with her. I might actually take that male out of the cage above and put it in here, because what I'm noticing is that they're really not doing anything, so I might just swap them out. Since they do have the same genes, it's not going to really matter much. So we'll see. She's just chilling. But you can see this Scorias definitely have a lot of variability between them. This one is really cool. This looks like an Egyptian snake or something like that, you know, with all those markings. Looks like someone just drew them on there. And for the final Scoria of the day, this is our hypo IMG Scoria. And you can see hypo and Scoria do not let that IMG gene express itself very much at all. And once again, I'm not even absolutely sure it is IMG. I have it as a potential. I just think the hypo plus the Scoria just really inhibits that IMG gene. Although I see pigment accumulating in the tail, and that's really where I'm kind of going with this thing. So we'll see. This male is actually also het albino, col albino. So I have him with this beautiful motley col albino female that's also het leopard. And we'll see. We'll see if we get any breeding action from them. This male is the first time he's been with a female. She is seasoned. She's given me a lot of boa litters over the years. So hopefully we'll see if we can get some kind of Scoria, hypo or sunglow Scoria, IMG, albino het leopard stuff going. I don't know. You never know. We could get some crazy stuff. We can get nothing. You know, it'll be interesting to see what comes out. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I love that Scoria gene, and I love to do cool stuff with it. We got some good potential here in the breeding program for 2024. Will we make a blood albino Scoria? Will we make a paradigm blood Scoria? Who knows? We might. Next year, we have some possibilities to get that VPIT positive Scoria going. And so a lot of good potential with that gene. Probably the coolest stuff has got to be the IMG Scoria stuff because it's so variable what those things look like. If you just want like a cool looking snake, IMG Scorias are just off the charts. You just have to be patient because you never know what you're going to get, and you don't know how much of that gene is going to be expressed. And sometimes it takes a long time. It takes a couple of years for it really to come out, but it's really worth it in the end because you get a really high definition, high contrast looking snake. All right, guys, if you're enjoying these videos, show us the love, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.